day number 3, otherwise known as the final day at NADA. And I'm with Ray with Impel. And Ray's going to walk us through what they do, how they do it at a 30,000 foot level. So you dealers that are at home that did not have an opportunity to make it to the show can get a little taste of what's available to run your store. So welcome, Ray.
Perfect. Thank you, Paul. So I just want to jump in and show you some of the new solutions we have here at Impel. So a lot of dealerships in the market may know us from our previous name, SpinCar, which is all about digital merchandising and interactive 360 walkarounds. But we've now gone through a rebrand for Impel, which is a full digital engagement platform. As part of that digital engagement platform, we have our sales AI and our service AI. The first thing I'm going to show you here is our sales AI, which is going to integrate with your CRM. So Bin Solutions, eLeads, Dealer Socket, ProMax. So a bunch of the main providers out there we're fully integrated with. And the way this technology is going to work is it's going to be an AI-driven BDC assistant that's going to work for your dealership 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and respond to all your leads within 2 minutes via text and email. So I'll show you a conversation so you can see exactly how the AI works in action. So this is your standard, website lead. It's coming in from Trader.com, and it's on a 2019 Silverado. So it comes in at 8:50 a.m., likely when your store's not even open. So these are leads that are probably not going to get answered to until your team gets in, has some coffee, reads their emails, and then they're going to get to this lead. Instead of having that challenge, our AI is actually going to engage that customer right away. So you're going to see the AI respond right back in that first minute. Hey, David. So it's personalized to the customer. We mentioned a vehicle availability, which is based off your inventory feed, and we'll refresh that inventory feed every 24 hours so we can keep track of what's coming in and out of stock. And then we give the customer 2 different options, either coming in for that test drive or confirming their phone number so we can have a phone call. We give the customer 2 options because we know some customers are ready to come in for a test drive or appointment immediately, and some customers need a little bit of extra, questions, a little bit of extra care. So that's why we want to confirm that phone number works, and then alert your team if that customer does want a phone call. The other thing we do on every vehicle inquiry is include a link to your website, a picture of the vehicle, the price, the VIN, stock number. If I were to click this link, I'm going to be driven right back to that VDP page on your website. This is super important because this lead's coming from Trader.com. That customer was likely shopping between 4, 5, 6 different dealerships, sent leads to all of them, and those customers are going to forget which store they submitted which lead to.
So that's a text message right to their phone.
This one is an email-only lead, so this one's going through email. If it's an email and we have their cell phone number, we'll do email and text follow-up through this tool.
Okay, yeah, so now they can remember of the 30 cars they looked at, this is one. So you've got the preview, which is key.
Exactly, and this is also extremely important for OEM mystery shops because a lot of the OEMs want you to actually include an image of the vehicle, a link to that website as part of their standards and guidelines, and we're making sure that our responses are going to match up with what the OEM's looking for. The other great thing is you do get to name your AI whatever you'd like. So that's adding a little bit of personalization for the dealership. You can give it whatever job title you want. So that's all fully customizable within our platform. So what I'm going to show you here is this customer actually gets back and he asks a boatload of questions. What's the total price out the door? Is there anyone there after 5 that can give me an estimate for a trade-in value? What are the financing options? What are the interest rates? What is the deposit amount needed? What would be the next steps? And can you send me the Carfax report? Now imagine if your team got that question. They're going to take at least 15 to 20 minutes to write a response to that email. And knowing salespeople like myself, they're likely not going to answer each and every question that the customer put out there.
So on a Friday afternoon at, just before 6 o'clock when they're getting ready to go home for the weekend, they may not take the time to answer all those questions in time.
Exactly. They're thinking about their beer when they get home. They're not thinking of responding to this lead. So here you're going to see the AI meticulously answer every single one of those inquiries. So, hey, you can get pre-approved on our website. Here's a link to our credit app. Our financial advisors are going to create a customized loan program for you. Dealer fee is $230. Our deposits are either $500 or $5,000, depending on the vehicle type. For that appraisal, we're happy to do so. It's only going to take 10 to 15 minutes. Let us know the exact date and time that you want to schedule that appointment. And here's that Carfax report you were looking for. So the AI was able to pick all of that out, respond to the customer's inquiries, and then you can see when you answer all the customer's questions, he comes back right away and says, hey, I want an appointment booked in for 6 o'clock. So this AI technology we have, because of our CRM integration, we're actually able to schedule that appointment right in your CRM. We're able to alert the salesperson who's assigned that lead. So they're going to get a text and email notification saying, you have an appointment booked in. And we're also going to send the customer a calendar invite. So now on their iPhone, they're going to get a reminder saying, hey, you have to go to ABC dealership at 6 o'clock. Traffic's heavy. You better leave now. So that's really going to help with show rates.
And you feel that this is more effective than the generic, hi, thanks for your inquiry. When can you come in? My manager would like to meet with you. Do you think that's more effective?
Exactly. It's actually, the difference between AI and a human is we can actually train this AI to be meticulous and treat each and every customer the same way. We have a series of topics that you're able to customize, like home delivery, if you offer it or not. So you have all these opportunities to personalize the AI and train it the exact same way you train a BDC agent at your store.
Oftentimes, the difference between a human and AI is the eye.
Yeah, exactly. And the other big thing this solution does as well is we don't just, if a customer doesn't engage with us, we don't just stop following up with them after a few days and move on to the new leads. We do, every single lead is giving 17 touch points over a 51-day follow-up cadence.
The dealer sets the cadence?
No, we've done all of that cadence setup ourselves, analyzing the data, seeing what generates the best responses, and we structured the cadence in that way.
Cool. So this is on a sales lead.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so talk to us about service.
Yeah, so service, this is a new exciting acquisition that we made of a company called Car Labs. So that's kind of why what we're building here at Impel. It's a full digital engagement platform that's going to allow the dealership to have automated sales inbound sales lead response, and then outbound service outreach.
Does this count to stop the clock?
Yes, on the sales side, we can actually stop the clock in the CRM as well to make sure that we're hitting those OEM requirements. So what we'll actually do is log the phone call as soon as the AI ends up responding to the customer.
Now, just from a personal experience, in my function, I mystery shop, and I also had the opportunity to purchase a brand new car 2 months ago. Mm-hmm. I shopped 21 dealers. That's right, 21 dealers. And of the 21, only 2 of them followed up.
Yeah, then that's common because it's a conveyor belt of leads that are just continuously coming in, and salespeople just move on to that next shiny object. So it's hard to train them to follow a specific cadence and follow-up process. So that's where AI comes in, because it's meticulous and it doesn't deviate from the cadence that you set out for. And we find that works really, really well for trade-in leads, because trade-in leads are notorious for low engagement. A lot of times people just want to get their value and try to sell their car privately. When we see the AI do that continuous follow-up in day 30, day 40, now that customer's tried to sell that car privately, they can't. But because your dealership's keeping up with that customer, all of a sudden, four weeks after they submitted the lead, they say, you know what, I am going to come into your store for that appraisal. And now you've got that vehicle acquisition that all your competitors forgot about.
Wow. All right, so show us a little bit of this.
Yeah, so this is the service side. So service is a little bit different. This is going to be through a DMS integration, again, integrated with all the main DMS providers. Okay. And what happens here is this is proactive service outreach. So the pain point that we're trying to solve here is for service teams and service BDCs, they're always playing defense. They're always dealing with inbound phone calls, and they don't necessarily get the chance to do proactive reach out for service appointments. So not only for customers for their first service appointment, if you think of the thousands of names in your DMS, we're going to be able to find a boatload that have not been back to your dealership after purchasing the vehicle.
7 in 10, according to a Cox study.
Exactly. And those lost souls, nobody's proactively reaching out to them at the dealership. But our AI technology, we're going to set those thresholds and say, hey, everyone who hasn't been here in a year, start proactively reaching out to that customer and get them back into my doors. So it's going to do all of that outbound outreach, and it's not just a single email that's going out to the customer. We do a continuous follow-up cadence. It's not the first email that's going to generate the response. It's follow-ups 3, 4, 5, and 6, where you're really going to get the best traction. So I'll show you the flow here. This is a next service campaign. So this is all fully turnkey. There's nothing the store has to do in terms of saying, hey, I want you to reach out to these customers on this date. Instead, through our DMS integration, we're going to mine the DMS, identify the right customers, and just proactively reach out to them. So here you can see we use the customer's name, we have their vehicle info, and what we're trying to do is identify what the date and time is that they want to schedule that service appointment. So this initial email goes out on December 4th. We didn't get a response here. So 4 days later, we get in touch with the customer. I wanted to follow up on my last email, check and see if there's a good time. So it's very friendly, it's very conversational in nature. Hey, Gabby again, I know you're likely busy. Wanted to make sure we're available to schedule your next service. Would you like to set up a time to bring it in over the next week or so? Check us out. Hey, I know in these times, emails can go unread or missed. No worries if you've been swamped. You can simply respond with when is the best for you. Even if it's a few weeks out, even if it's a month out, I'll get you set up. So you can imagine comparing this type of engagement and responses out to your customer versus a email blast. It's easy to ignore marketing content that's, super graphic, that looks like it's just getting blasted out of the OEM with no care or personalization.
Or a repeat of the same message that was sent out the first time.
Exactly.
Like 10 times in a row, as though that's somehow going to make them more
interested. Exactly. Whereas here, it's hard to ignore Gabby that's, doing her very, very best to get in touch with you, and all she wants to do is get you in for service. So in this case, I'll just kind of skip ahead here to show you when the engagement happens. This customer actually, we started reaching out to him on December 4th. January 12th is when he actually responded back to us after 6 email cadences. So it was a 6-week period, and that's when we elicited the response.
Look at that, huh?
Yeah, customers apologizing to AI. We've actually had situations where customers ask the AI out on dates, they get Google reviews, and people are like, wow, Maddie at the store was amazing. I got my responses right away. So that's something that really commonly happens with our solution.
I think that just the fact that it changes each time, that makes it more real and more personal.
Exactly.
Right to the point where this person actually apologized, because how often do customers apologize? I mean, it's all about them. We have to jump through hoops to engage them, to make them happy, to make sure they're taken care of. But more often than not, it seems as though they don't really care.
Exactly.
But apparently in this case, if you deliver the right messaging and you stay with them and let them know that you understand that they're busy, they begin to take ownership of it. That's pretty cool.
Exactly. So here, whenever we generate engagement, and this is something that would work with either the service advisor, service BDC, appointment coordinators, whoever really is going to be managing the actual confirmation of the appointment. They're going to get a text and email alert saying, hey, this customer is looking for an appointment on January 16th. Let's see if that date's available. But what else is going to happen here, if you use something like an Xtime or any sort of service scheduler, what the AI is trying to do here is kick the service scheduler over so the customer gets in the habit of self-serve.
Right.
What we want to start doing here, and when we do this after 2 to 3 years in a dealership, now you're getting the customer in the habit of knowing that they're going to get a proactive email sent to them when they need to get their service booked in. They know that they can use that service scheduler, and what we start to see is a cut down in the amount of inbound phone calls. Because we're proactively reaching out to customers, they're self-serving online, they don't have a need to now inundate your service team with all these calls just to book in basic service appointments. So that's what happens here. We kick back that service scheduler, and now you're actually going to see when the BDC agent jumps in here. So they noticed that the customer did book in self-serve right online. So they just said, hey, you're all good to go. We confirmed that you're all set for that appointment. Next time you want to book in, let us know via email and we'll get you set up. So they're also at the BDC level conditioning the customer to reach out via email, reach out to Gabby, and just get in that habit.
And that's critical, because most of the stores that I talk to and I ask them, what's your utilization on your scheduler? And a lot of them tell me it's very low, 10, 15%. And I ask, well, do you include that in all of your messaging outbound? Do you educate them when they're picking up the car or when they come into the dealership to ask questions? And usually the answer is no. Mm-hmm. So this is a very good tool to kind of bring that back to the forefront and get them in the habit of doing something that is going to save them time.
Exactly.
But more importantly, free up the advisor's time so they can better serve the clients that come in. So that's a pretty good system.
And now you're seeing OEMs that are putting out guidelines and saying, hey, 20% of your service appointments have to come through our service scheduler. If you don't have a process to put that in place, this is actually going to do that for you, because anytime we generate engagement, we're pushing that service scheduler and trying to create that habit of self-serve.
That's great. I hope every OEM jacks that number up nice and high because the end result is a better customer experience for everybody.
Yeah.
And since we don't necessarily have the best reputation as an automotive body, this will certainly take us in the right direction to improve the customer experience.
100%.
What else you got?
So that was the sales and service side. The other piece of what we're, well known for as well is the digital merchandising. So that's 360 walkarounds and making your inventory stand out online.
Yeah.
So let me see here. So here's an example in a 360 booth. So if anybody's utilizing a turntable at the dealership, we're essentially just going to give the customer a more interactive opportunity to showcase that vehicle. For the interior, we use a 360 camera. So from home, you can actually feel like you're sitting right in the driver's seat of the vehicle. Yeah. Now you don't have to go through photos, you don't have to scroll or click. You can actually take control of the shopping experience and look at the vehicle in the way that it's most important to you. Let me show you another example.
I would imagine in the reporting, there's a heat map that shows what the points of interest are for that customer.
Yeah, so that's actually done through Google Analytics. So we set up what's called events in Google Analytics.
Yeah.
And we can actually tell you, hey, this is how many customers clicked on the trunk. This is how many customers clicked on your steering wheel. All those hotspots that are located on the vehicle, they're all automatically integrated. So here you have an example. So you don't have to have a turntable to utilize the 360. You can actually just shoot it right on your lot as well.
And then it puts it together.
Exactly. You're going to see the interior camera here. You can just see how, now if a customer wants to find out if it has a sunroof, just a simple scroll up versus having to go through all these photos that may or may not be relevant. Another thing that we've been doing when it comes to merchandising, so not only do we want to make the customer fall in love with the look and feel of the vehicle, but we also want them to understand all the bells and whistles the vehicle is equipped with. So right here on the page, you're going to see the feature highlights. So you see there, adaptive cruise control, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. It's listing out all the features that are available on the vehicle
and what they do.
Connecting an Apple CarPlay compatible iPhone to the display audio lets you enjoy many of the iPhone's functions through the display audio touchscreen without having to touch the iPhone.
So what we see on dealer websites right now when it comes to understanding features, it's either in a big block of text for the description that nobody's going to read, or it's in bullet points down the page where you make the customer go through all these different places, and it's extremely customer unfriendly. This is a much more friendly way to actually give the customer content, explain what these new features are, because all these tech packages, things that the vehicles are coming equipped with, are more and more and more complex. And we have all that content curated, and it's automatically going to come on your VDPs. So you don't have to do anything at the store. There's no extra work on your end. You just activate this product, and we're going to push that feature content onto your inventory.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Any final words? Anything we should know?
I mean, the market is super excited about what's happening with Impel. We just got a $104 million investment from Silversmith Partners, and that was all about improving this digital engagement platform. So we have the tools here to wow your customers when it comes to that first experience on your website through our merchandising suite. We have the opportunity to engage those customers when they actually submit a lead through our sales AI. And then we have that opportunity to focus on service retention and maximizing that lifetime value of your customers with our service AI product. So we feel like this is a crucial piece of technology that every dealership in the country needs to deploy. The market agreed with us, and we're looking forward to 2023.
So how do they find you?
My email is ray@impel.io. Our website is www.impel.io. We have sales reps all across the country. We're in 54 countries with over 4,000 dealers on our platform. So we're really easy to find. We're always at all these trade shows and always looking to connect with dealers and help them out.
Well, that's great. You sound like you know this product inside out, sideways and backwards. So I appreciate your time, Ray.
Thank you.